Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part number 1 of the rhythmic language that I use today, the basics. Let's start with a quarter note. We have here a quarter note, and this quarter note is called ta. The syllable ta is always the beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's always the beat. And then we can divide this quarter note into 2/8 notes called tate. And the ta is always the beat, and the syllable te is always the and when we count. And then we can further divide the ta into taga and the te into tege. So the result is taga tege, 4 16th notes. So we have taga tege, taga tege, taga tege. Let's go back. Let's say we use the ta here, and we have 4 beats of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then simple ta, 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 and so on. That's very easy. And then when we use our tate, we have 3, 4. We have tate, 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 tate. Or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and tate, 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 tate. Now that's really important to know. Here, the ta is the beat, the te is the and. Then here we have 3, 4. Taga tege, taga tege, taga tege, taga tege. And this taga tege is one thing. We have 4 syllables, but we think one thing, like a phrase. I am hungry, you are hungry, I am hungry, you are hungry. It's not taga tege, taga tege, taga tege. It's taga tege, one thing. Taga tege, taga tege, taga tege, taga tege. So, and then the next one is called ta tege. From this tate we divided only the te into 2 16th notes. We have ta tege, and that's a pattern that appears all the time in the score. We have ta tege, 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 ta tege. Very simple. And the other way around, we have taga te. We have divided the ta from the tate into taga, and the te remained. So the beat is always on the ta, and the and is on the te. Also here, no matter if we have a ga or not. So we have taga te, taga te, taga te, taga te, taga te, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Taga te, taga te, taga te, taga te. And with these 5 patterns, ladies and gentlemen, we can solve really nearly every problem that we have when it comes to rhythm. It's important to have such patterns. Also, when reading notes, it's the same thing. You do not read 1,000 notes in a line, in a row. I have already mentioned that in another video. You have to see scales, you have to see jumps or leaps, or you have to recognize intervals, and you have to recognize the chords. And also here, when it comes to the rhythm, you have to see patterns that you know. And these 5 patterns are really important. So let's practice a little bit. Let's use this ta and the tate. 3, 4. We have ta, tate, ta, tate, ta, tate, ta, tate. And with your right or the left foot you can play the metronome if you like. Here. Ta, tate, ta, tate. Okay, let's go to the next one. We use the taga tege and the ta. So we have the beat here, and the beat is here, and the and is here. We have 3, 4. Ta, taga tege, ta, taga tege, ta, taga tege, ta, taga tege. Or when we use the tate, we can say 3, 4. Tate, taga tege, tate, taga tege, tate, taga, tege, ta, te, taga, tege. Very simple. Now let's use one of these other patterns, the ta, tege. We have here 3, 4. Ta, ta, tege, ta, ta, tege, ta, ta, tege, ta, tege. Or when we use the ta, te instead of ta, you can say ta, te, ta, tege, ta, te, ta, tege, ta, te, ta, tege, ta, te, ta, tege. Okay, or we can also use the taga tege. 3, 7, 4, 3, 4. Taga tege, ta, tege, taga tege, ta, tege, taga tege, ta, tege, taga tege, ta, tege. Okay, let's use the other one. Let's use this taga te and the ta. We have 3, 4, ta, taga te, ta, taga te, ta, taga te, ta, taga te. Okay, or of course this one, ta te, taga te, ta te, taga te, ta te, taga te, ta te, taga te. Or of course with our 4/16th notes we have taga tege, taga te, taga tege, taga te, taga tege, taga te, taga tege, taga te. And we can also use both patterns here. We have ta, tege, taga te, ta, tege, taga te, ta, tege, taga te, ta, tege, taga te. And when we look at these two patterns, we see that once again, the ta is always the beat. We have here beat and we have here beat. And the te is always the and. Here and here. We have 1 and 2 and. Now let's head over to the piano and I will show you a few other examples. Ladies and gentlemen, here the first example, we have a 4/4 bar type. That means that we count 4 quarter notes in one bar. And you can see we have ta, ta, te, ta, tege, taga, te, ta, te, taga, tege, ta, ta, te. And every time let's write it down. We have
ta, ta, te, ta, tege. Here we have taga, te. Here we have ta, te. Here we have taga, tege, ta, ta, te.
And where the ta is, we have our beat. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4. And where the 1, 2, 3, 4, very simple. And the te is always the and. Here is the and, here is the and, here, and here. Then it's very simple to count. Now let's use this pencil here and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, ta, te, ta, tege, taga, te, ta, te, taga, tege, ta, ta, te, ta, ta, te, ta, tege, taga, te, ta, te, taga, tege, ta, ta, te. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you have a 4/4 bar type or a 3/4 bar type. We have the same thing. We can start with this pattern. It's called ta, te. Recognize the pattern. See, we have this pattern here called ta, tege, and then we can add another ta, te. Then we see we have 1, 2, 3 beats. It's clearly visible where the beats are, and then we have these 4/16th notes called taga tege, and then we use this taga te and the ta, and these two words are repeated all the time. So we have
ta, te, ta, tege, ta, te, ta, ta, tege, ta, ta, te, ta.
and now you see where the ta is the beat 1,
2, 3.
and because we have only a 3/4 bar type, we count only on 3.
Here 1, ta here, and ta here, 3. The te is our and. Te, 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 te. Okay.
And then we can use our foot to make the metronome. 1, 2, 3. Ta, te, ta, tege, ta, te. tagatege, tagate, ta. Tate, tatege, tate, tagatege, tagate, ta. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. That's also not a possibility that you count 1 and 2 and 3 but you clap or you use a pencil or something like that to play this ta te ta te ge. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. That's a little bit more difficult with counting. I made a little mistake here, sorry for that. So, and also the last example, 2, 4. Then we can use, of course, this pattern here is called tagatege, and then we use a ta, and we can use this one, and one again, this one. Let's do it again. Sorry. And then we have here, and we have here, and a tate. Let's repeat that. We have tagatege, ta, tatege, tatege, ta, tate. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And the end is tagate is here. Ta-tege is here the end. Ta-tege here. Ta-te here is the end. So we have tagatege ta, ta-tege, ta-tege, ta, ta-te. Or 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2 and. And with these 5 patterns, the ta, that becomes the tate, and then we divide the ta and the te into 2 16th notes. We have tagatege. We divide only the te into 2 16th notes. We have ta-tege, ta-tege. Or the other way around, we have tagate, tagate. So, ta, ta-te, tagatege, ta-tege, tagate. And in the next video, in part number 2, you will see a little preview of what comes. In the next video, you see this ta-tege, for example. That appears all the time. But also this with dotted 8th note and the 16th note. That appears all the time. And if you do a combination, if we tie the ta and the te together like here, we do not have to say this consonant anymore. Instead of ta-tege, it remains ta-ege. And written in another way, we have ta-ege, the dotted 8th note and the 16th note. And you have to know this pattern very well, because these 2 patterns, the ta-ege and the ta-tege, are nearly the same. They belong together. That's the older brother, here is the younger brother. Ta-tege, ta-tege, and if we tie this together, we do not have to say t anymore, and what remains is ta-ege, ta-ege, written in another way, ta-ege, ta-ege. And this pattern we see also all the time, and it seems to be very difficult, but if you know how it is constructed using this rhythmic language, it's very, very simple. And subscribe to my channel so that you will never miss a video anymore, and surely not part 2 that is as important as part number 1. Thanks very much for being here, and I see you in the next video.